Martial arts and combat sports are many things to many people, locally and globally. Some will even say that combat sports and sports in general are more than just a game, a skill set, a theoretical belt rank or title, or even a medal, but rather a way of life, a vocation, a philosophy, and a foundation for life guided by values beyond the respective martial art and combat sport. It can change one's life and maybe even entire communities and provide them with options, awareness, the possibility of a new perspective with some guidance and a purpose. Welcome to the Combat Sports in Africa podcast. In this episode, we go to Zimbabwe to speak with Natsiraishe Maritsa. She's an 18-year-old Taekwondo instructor doing incredible work for young girls in her community and country. She's using the sport of Taekwondo to engage, empower, and educate her community to fight against child marriage in Zimbabwe. Her efforts have been recently recognized and awarded by the International Olympic Committee's Women in Sport Awards. I'm going to read parts of an article featured on InsideTheGames.biz entitled Teenage Taekwondo Instructor Recognized in IOC Women and Sports Awards. Zimbabwe teenager Natsiraishe Maritsa has been honored for efforts to empower girls through Taekwondo with a continental prize in the International Olympic Committee's Women and Sport Awards. Maritsa was awarded the African honor in recognition of a project which seeks to use Taekwondo to raise awareness of hazards associated with child marriage, a particular issue in Zimbabwe. The 18-year-old was nominated for the IOC honor by World Taekwondo. Quote, Natsiraishe thoroughly deserves this award in recognition of the crucial work she is doing supporting young women in her community, unquote. World Taekwondo President Chung Won Choi said, quote, her determination to reduce inequalities through sport and raise awareness through the global media has also helped these vulnerable women and girls to attend school and receive quality education, unquote. The project combines Taekwondo lessons with discussions about the risk of early marriage, designed to create a safe environment for girls to discuss topics, including pregnancy, gender-based violence, and harassment. Quote, Taekwondo tenets empower me to fight for awareness of child marriages and had positive results to people who I impacted the Taekwondo tenets to, unquote, Maritsa added. Quote, with Taekwondo, we are indeed champions of freedom, justice, and peace, unquote. Now, quickly, before we get to the interview, just want to say that we had a few technical issues and some parts of the interview were unfortunately lost due to connectivity issues. Okay, let's get to the interview now. Congratulations on being awarded the IOC's Women and Sport Award for the continent of Africa. How does it feel?
Yeah, firstly, I would like to thank you for the congratulations message. I really appreciate. And I feel so honored and humbled to have been selected to represent Africa as well. And the award really is a motivation to me to keep going, to keep fighting. And I felt that I wasn't alone in this fight. There were other people out there who are supporting me in everything that I'm doing.
It's very important work, and we're going to get into that. But I'd like to know, what does this award and being recognized for your work mean to you personally?
Personally, it means that I have done a lot. I've committed myself, considering my age. I'm just 18 years old. And I felt motivated personally that I can do everything. I can do anything that is possible in the world. I can represent Africa. I can represent the world. I can represent any girl child in this noble cause.
For sure. And I've been reading a lot of articles and seeing a lot of media in regards to your work. And it's really, really impressive. I'd like to know your Taekwondo story. When did you start training in Taekwondo and why this particular sport?
Okay, thank you. I actually started with Kyokushin when I was 5 years old. I used to accompany my dad whenever he went to the gym. he used to do kyokushin at that time. So every time I saw him doing those basic skills, I really got motivated. So I started doing kyokushin when I was 5. Then in 2017, I decided to switch from kyokushin to taekwondo because I had a dream and I still have the dream to take part in the World Taekwondo Olympics. So I realized that taekwondo was the best martial art I could do to fulfill my dream. So I started taekwondo in 2017, and I'm still doing taekwondo until now.
That's awesome. And how would you explain the sport of taekwondo to someone who's never heard of it or seen it?
Okay, taekwondo is a Korean martial art, and it's mostly based with kicks, although there are some punches, but it's based with high kicks. That is, you'll be kicking from the middle part and also to the head. And in this sport, there are some rules whereby you're not allowed to punch on the head, but you can punch on the middle part and kick on the head level. And this is a way of gaining points, since if you kick on the head, there are more points than on the middle part.
What do you love the most about the sport, the striking art?
I love the sport because of the skills that comes along. That is the tenets of taekwondo, which are courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and indomitable spirit. And also, I'm very much interested in the pumseis. The pumseis are basic katas. And the other thing is the techniques, especially the kicking techniques that are in taekwondo. They are really interesting.
I've seen some of your training and the kicking, and it certainly is very impressive. I'd like to know, how popular is Taekwondo in Zimbabwe, and which combat sport is the most popular in your country?
In Zimbabwe, Taekwondo is not very popular in all parts of the country. There are specific areas that whereby Taekwondo is really known. And this is due to factors that include feminism, whereby girls are not allowed to do such sports. And in most cases, I realized that in rural areas, taekwondo is not very known. People just know that there is martial arts, but there are no clubs in that are doing taekwondo, especially in rural areas. But the sport that is very well known is soccer, but it's also dominated by men, and it's really known all over in the rural areas and also in the urban areas.
Very interesting. Now, I'd like to dive into your project because obviously you've been awarded this award, which is an incredible achievement for very important work. But the work you do is really fascinating because your goal is to fight child marriage in Zimbabwe, and you're sharing your knowledge in this sport, Taekwondo, with girls in your community. Tell us about this project and what inspired it, please.
All right, thank you. When I was in primary school, I lost a lot of friends, classmates, and close relatives to child marriages and pregnancies. I went to high school, and the same predicament persisted. So after seeing the negative effects of child marriages that were on this girl child, I realized that I had to do something, but I was just a child like any other. But I had that passion to create an early marriage free nation. So I decided to use Taekwondo as a tool to fight child marriages because learned a lot in Taekwondo. Taekwondo is not just an ordinary, but it's a package that is qualified for this noble cause, which is Taekwondo. So I started training girls in my community and from other areas Taekwondo in order to empower them so that they will not choose marriage as an option. I also started to work with since they are the exhibit of the effects of child marriages. And after realizing that like a leading factor to child marriages and pregnancies, I started trying to find people who could donate sanitary pads, and I would give those sanitary pads to young girls in the society, and also from different skills, from different schools. So this is what I've been doing all along since 2019. But I officially registered a trust, which is called Vulnerable Underage People's Auditorium last year, so that I could formally.
Hello, I think we've lost you for a sec. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Sorry, please continue. You were saying you formalized the organization?
Yes, I formalized this organization in order to work formally. So also empowering these girls so that they can get not only the awards and stuff, but the experience of gaining confidence in the tournament, and also the pride that comes with achieving something. For instance, in this case, the pride that comes with winning and achieving something, they'll start believing in themselves. So this is the work that I've been doing in terms of my initiative, and I'm currently working from home since I don't have a formal place. So I've been training these young girls from our backyard, and I work with girls from 10 to 18 years, since they're the most vulnerable. And I now have a number of young boys who joined because if we work together with both males and females in trying to raise awareness, it would really go a long way, since they'll also know what really is happening, and also the effects of child marriages and pregnancies. So this is what I do.
That's incredible. How has the community responded to your work? What are people telling you?
Okay, so at first it was really challenging, especially the part of transferring the Taekwondo skills. As I mentioned, the issue of feminism and stereotyping and the myths that surround women involvement in sports in particular, those that are dominated by men. So the parents were against me transferring the Taekwondo skills to young girls, since they were saying that if a girl child engages in such a sport like martial art, she will not be able to negative respond from the community. But I had to go to them and explain, have meetings with them and explain the importance of Taekwondo, and also try to find ways to prove that what they thought is not really true. And also personally, a lot of boys from my community thought that they thought that I joined Taekwondo, started doing Taekwondo as a way of trying to say that they were not superior than me. So it was really challenging that they thought I was challenging them. So I also had to try and stand that, and I'm still trying to stand against that since I'm facing the same thing almost every day. So yeah, these are some of the challenges that I faced from my society.
Wow, it's incredible. The work you're doing and the effort you're putting in is incredible, and I commend you for that. I'd like to know: are you getting any support from the community? Are people, as you're educating and engaging with these youth, you mentioned boys are joining along to support the campaign to raise awareness, but are others, and now you're getting obviously international recognition for your work. So I guess what I'm asking is, are you getting support from others across the country and others from abroad in terms of highlighting your effort and supporting you in any capacity?
The support that I'm getting from other people in my country is in form of sanitary that I distribute to other young girls from my society, and this is the support that I'm currently receiving. And from last year, I received the support in form of refreshments, which I give to young girls when we're doing sanitary distribution, or when we are holding moral obligation sections, which is something that I didn't mention. We do moral obligation sections, or we're trying to discuss issues affecting the girl child and try to come up with solutions that we wish to implement if resources allow us. So I once received support from the current embassy to Zimbabwe with refreshments that were to cater for about 4 months. And yes, this is the support I have received so far.
You've embarked on this goal to address this major issue, which is probably a common problem in other parts of Africa and other continents, of course, I would imagine. Do you plan on taking this project internationally or maybe collaborating with others?
Yes, I really have got a dream to spread my wings, not only to focus with Zimbabwe and raising this awareness, because I understand that child marriage is not something that is only happening in Zimbabwe, but is also a cancer or more like a pandemic to the world. So I really wish to spread my wings and partner with other initiatives that have the same vision with me of trying to fight against child marriages and pregnancies.
Now, do you think martial arts can solve community-based issues and problems?
Yes, I believe that martial arts can solve problems that are being faced in our society. Because as I mentioned, there are qualities that come along with sporting activities. Like, for instance, in Taekwondo, the tenets of Taekwondo, which are courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and indomitable spirit. These qualities can really change a person's personality and also the view of someone in general. The qualities will be changed. They will be empowered. They will see things from a different perspective. Because maybe if I hadn't joined Taekwondo at a tender age, I would be considering child marriages and pregnancies as something that is normal. But due to the fact that I learned Taekwondo at a tender age, I learned martial arts really young, and while doing Taekwondo, I changed the perspective of the society. I'm trying to fight against something that is happening in the society. So I believe that martial arts can change and solve a lot of problems in the society.
It's incredible. You're actually doing that, directly on the ground, and it's just so great to hear the power of martial arts. And you mentioned self-empowerment and this indomitable spirit. These values are integral to a lot of combat sports, obviously, including Taekwondo. What's been the most fascinating lesson for you that you've learned in doing this very important work?
The most important thing that I learned is to keep focused while doing this work, because honestly, I faced a lot of resistance and a negative attitude towards this work from the community, even at school, that at once I really told my parents that it's high time I have to change my school, because some of the things that I was facing at school were quite emotional and I couldn't stand it. So those are some of the things that I first experienced, and they taught me to keep focused, because if I yes.
Sorry, I had lost you for a second. Sorry, please continue.
Okay, it's fine. So due to all the things that I faced in this journey, I realized that I learned that I had to focused and not listen to the negative information that I'll be receiving from other people. So yes, focus is the most important thing that I learned.
Fascinating. What keeps you motivated to keep going? What keeps you driven to keep pushing for this important mission?
Well, what really keeps me motivated is whenever I see a girl child, suffering from the effects of child marriages, or whenever I read an article or see a video of someone who is experiencing the negative effects of child marriages, I just get motivated that I still have a lot of things to do. I still have a battle to fight, and I have to keep on going because there's still a lot of number of child marriages that are going on. So I get motivated whenever I see who's experiencing challenges in terms of child marriages and pregnancies.
Now, how can people reach out to you if they have questions, or where can they find you online?
Okay, so I've got a Twitter page, which is at Taekwondo Kid ZW. That's my Twitter page, and my email address is natsiraishem@gmail.com. And my Instagram account is Taekwondo Kid 97. So they can reach me on any of the social media platforms.
Now, I just want to say that this is you're doing incredible work, and you're really an inspiration for people in your community. But I tell you, I think the global combat sports community, respects the work you're doing and the knowledge you're sharing. Thank you very much for your time, and let's keep in touch, please.
Thank you so much.
There you have it. Martial arts and combat sports are capable of doing many good things for people and communities across Africa and the world. And Natsiraishe Maritsa is showing the initiative and leadership required to positively motivate, inform her community on these important issues. That is using Taekwondo, an international and an Olympic combat sport, in creating a safe environment for girls to discuss topics such as pregnancy, gender-based violence, and harassment. Much respect to her and her work. Much continued success. My name is Gurmami. Thank you for listening to the Combat Sports in Africa podcast, available at combatsportsinafrica.com and wherever you get your podcast.